Now to the war in Ukraine. Ukraine's Navy chief says the country has set sights on taking back Crimea. The country's defense authorities meanwhile denounced Russia's intention to move nuclear weapons into Belarus, declaring it would render the countries a nuclear hostage. Jeong Eun-joo has the latest.
Ukraine's Navy chief has admitted the country has now got its sights on taking back Crimea. Speaking to British newspaper The Times on Sunday, Vice-Admiral Oleksiy Neizhpapa said the country is looking at reclaiming Crimea shore, something that was once unrealistic, he said, but is now very real. He also added that the Ukrainian Navy is now 3 times its pre-war strength and is confident in the force's ability. The peninsula was illegally annexed by Russia in 2014, but some have speculated about whether Ukraine can finally take the territory back. With Moscow's war efforts faltering, Russian President Vladimir Putin said over the weekend that Russia is preparing to station tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. In remarks published Saturday, Putin said that Russia plans to complete the construction of a special storage facility for tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus by July 1st and begin training crew next week. He added that the move would not violate nuclear non-proliferation agreements and compared it to the U.S. stationing its weapons in Europe. Tactical nuclear weapons are designed for battlefield use and aren't large enough to wipe out entire cities. After Putin's plans were announced, Ukrainian officials called for an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council. Ukraine's foreign ministry, in a written statement released Sunday, said moving the weapons to Belarus would undermine nuclear non-proliferation treaties. Alexei Danilov, the head of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, called the deal a step towards internal destabilization of Belarus and wrote on Twitter that Russia has made a nuclear hostage out of the country. The European Union's foreign policy chief warned Belarus it could face further sanctions if it hosted Russian nuclear weapons. But when it comes to actual nuclear weapons, Washington says there's no indication that Russia has moved weapons into Belarus just yet. And according to National Security Council spokesman John Kirby on Sunday, there are no signs that Putin is actually planning to use nuclear weapons against Ukraine.
I can tell you that we've seen nothing that would indicate Mr. Putin is preparing to use tactical nuclear weapons in any way whatsoever in Ukraine. And I can also tell you that we haven't seen anything that would cause us to change our own strategic nuclear deterrent posture.
Meanwhile, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko hasn't publicly commented on the announcement. Jeong Eun-joo, Arirang News.